Welcome back, students. So, now we are going to start the checkpoint observation question answers, which are the extra questions of your book. So, the first question is rewrite the following in the correct sequence. We need to write them all into the correct sequence. So, the first is absorption, exhaustion, ingestion, assimilation, and digestion. So, we know that सबसे पहले there is taking of the food, that is ingestion. First will be ingestion, sorry, and this is the first step. After that digestion occurs too, and after that absorption occurs in the small intestine, then assimilation, and the number 5 is exhaustion. So this way you will write. Next is which of the following is common between human being and amoeba? The number of cells और द स्टेप्स ऑफ द न्यूट्रिशन. सेल्स तो सेम नहीं होते, हमारे अंदर बहुत सारे सेल्स होते हैं, वेराज मीबा का एक ही सेल होता है. बट दे आर सेइंग व्हाट इज़ कॉमन. द कॉमन होगा स्टेजेस ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन, लाइक इंजेक्शन डाइजेशन तो उस केस में भी होती है इन द केस ऑफ अमीबा. सो दैट इज़ वाई वी विल से दैट जो अमीबा है it is having the stages of nutrition common in both human beings and the itself. Next is define the following terms. Nutrition, it is process of intaking food and using that food in the form of energy, that is nutrition. Next comes the digestion, the process of breaking complex insoluble food into simpler substances, that is digestion. Exhaustion, what is it? It is the process of removal of the waste material from our body, solid waste from our body, that is exhaustion. Next comes rumination. What is rumination? The process of bringing back the partially digested food back into the mouth and slowly chewing it again for the long time, that is the ruminations. And the organism जिनमें rumination present होता है, occur करता है, those are the ruminants, right? Next comes what is pseudopodium. It is, these are the false foots of amoeba which helps it to capture the food, right? So this we can do. Next is identify the accessory glands from the following. तो इसके लिए there is some change. So there is a question, this is for the following. For the stomach, we need to find out among stomach, स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन, सलाइवरी ग्लैंड एंड पेंक्रियास एंड रेक्टम में से कौन से सेसरी ग्लैंड्स हैं दैट यू विल राइट डाउन, लाइक विच सिक्रीट द एंजाइम्स, राइट, लाइक लिवर इज़ देयर. इवन जो ग्लैंड्स एसेसरी ग्लैंड्स हैं दे आर पेंक्रियास, जिनमें सलाइवा निकलता है. सो दीज आर द accessory glands. Next question is question number 5. Identify the organs associated with the following functions. Uska you will start from here. This is the part of the fourth question, so there is some printing error. Next is this is for first of all churning of food कौन सा organ करता है, this is the function, and आपने organ बताना है which organ is involved. That is stomach churns the food properly, mixes it together with the HCl and enzymes. Next is mastication. कहाँ पे होती है mastication? Chewing of food है ना, that is the in the mouth due to the teeth. Next is absorption of material, absorption of nutrients occurs in the small intestine. It is done by the villi, those are the finger like projections present in the small intestine. नेक्स्ट इज द स्टोरेज ऑफ द फेशियल मैटर. स्टोरेज जो फेशियल मैटर होता है दैट इज़ द वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट ऑफ आवर बॉडी. वो टेम्परेरी टाइम पीरियड के लिए कहाँ पे स्टोर्ड होता है, दैट इज़ इन द रेक्टम. यस. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ टीथ्स इन ह्यूमन अडल्ट्स. कितनी टाइप्स के होते हैं? 4 टाइप्स वी हैव डन इट देम. सो गिव देयर नंबर इन ईच जॉ. कितने होते हैं? दिस इज द टेबल दैट इज प्रेजेंट इन योर बुक ऑल्सो, सो यू नीड टू लर्न द नंबर. वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड देयर फंक्शंस in the practice zones. Next comes explain what happens in the following chambers. इन द अबोमाजम जो डाइजेशन है वो कंप्लीट हो जाती है, यू नो। जो अबोमाजम है इट इज़ द लास्ट चैम्बर ऑफ द काउज और बफलोज डाइजेस्टिव ट्रैक। एंड नेक्स्ट इज र्यूमन, जो फूड है वो टेम्परेरी रिलीज सबसे पहले कहाँ पे स्टोर किया जाता है इन द रूमिनेंट्स, इट इज़ एट द र्यूमन। नेक्स्ट इज ओमाजम, इट इज़ द चैम्बर वेयर द रीच्यूड फूड है जो वो पहुँचता है। Clear? So the chamber of the stomach through which cud passes and is completely digested, and that is omasum. Next is explain the tooth. Explain the structure of the human tooth with the help of diagram. So you need to make a diagram, and you will label the crown and root part, and you will simply explain the parts. That is crown part, it is a hard whitish part of the tooth which is visible to us, whereas the root are the part which remains embedded in the jaw. जो हमारा jaw है उसके अंदर वाला जो part होता है teeth का, that is the root. Clear? Next question is, what are the events that lead to chemical digestion of starch in the mouth? कौन से इवेंट से जो केमिकल डाइजेशन होती है इन आवर माउथ, ड्यू टू विच, दैट इज़ द मास्टिकेशन, जिसमें जो सलाइवा है हमारा इट गेट्स मिक्सड विद द फूड, च्यूड फूड, एंड इट बिकम स्मूदर। तो उसी स्टेज से द केमिकल डाइजेशन स्टार्ट्स. So the events that lead to the chemical digestion of the starch in the mouth are mastication, which involves mixing of saliva with the food in the buccal cavity, that is our mouth, with the help of the tongue. When the digestive enzymes present in the saliva act on starch, say it breaks down the simpler carbohydrate, producing sweet taste. So which acts on it, the जो हमारा saliva होता है it acts on the starch which is present in the food and simply starts breaking down of the food from the buccal cavity. Clear? Next comes describe the functions of the following. First is, what is the function of liver? It secretes the bile juices which help in dissolving the insoluble food particles into the soluble food particles, and it also acts upon the fat. Large sized fats are converted into small fat particles. Yes. Next comes, what is the function of small intestine? It helps in absorption and complete digestion of the food takes place in small intestine. So it helps in complete digestion of the carbohydrates, fats, proteins, which is the food that we eat, and also the absorption of nutrients take place in the small intestine. Clear? Next comes, what is stomach? Who will explain this? Okay, fine. So what is the stomach? Stomach is the sac like structure organ which is present inside the abdominal cavity, right? If you remember, so what is it? It is the place where HCl is present along with the digestive enzymes which completely जो है वो फूड को smaller pieces में convert कर देता है. That is mechanical and chemical digestion of food takes place in stomach. अगर फिर भी कुछ particles food के insoluble रह जाते हैं, they are completely dissolved in the small intestine by the digestive juices which are secreted from the various accessory glands. Clear? Next is label the diagram. So this you need to do by yourself. You need to draw the diagram of the digestive tract, and after that drawing you will label the parts. तो आपको simply पहले draw करनी है diagram, after that you will label the parts. Clear? Next is differentiate between the permanent and the milk teeth. So what is the difference? The difference is that the permanent teeth होते हैं they last for the lifetime, and once they are broken they never come again, whereas milk teeth are the small childs and they can be they are replaced by the permanent teeth, and they are जो permanent teeth होते हैं they are 32 in number, whereas milk teeth are only 20 in number. एंड जो परमानेंट टीथ्स होते हैं ये जो बच्चा है इन द एज ऑफ 6 to 7 years के बच्चे के आते हैं, वेराज जब जो बच्चा छोटा होता है 6 to 7 months का, तो मिल्क टीथ्स अपीयर इन इट्स जो है उनके जॉज में अपीयर होने स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं. नेक्स्ट कम्स दे वंस फॉलन कैन नॉट बी रिप्लेस्ड, परमानेंट्स आर नेवर रिप्लेस्ड, whereas milk teeth are replaced by the permanent teeth. Next comes a question number 13. What would happen if the body do not secrete the following? अगर saliva secrete नहीं होगा तो हमारा food है जो हम खाते हैं वो rough होगा and it will enter in the food pipe, तो वहाँ पे वो अटक भी सकता है because it is not smooth, है ना. So there would be no lubrication and easy swallowing of food. Lubrication means smoothness नहीं होगी खाने में. Clear. Next is mucus. It is the inner layer. We know that जो mucus होता है it protects the stomach. तो उसको inner lining में जो हमारे stomach को protect करता है from what it protects from the HCl, which is because HCl is the strong acid and it can corrode the walls of stomach, जिससे हमारे stomach में burning effect हो सकता है and we would feel the pain. तो उससे प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए देयर इज़ अ म्यूकस विच फॉर्म्स अ लेयर अराउंड द स्टोमक फ्रॉम द इनर लेयर, जो उसकी वॉल्स को इट प्रोटेक्ट्स फ्रॉम द HCl. नेक्स्ट कम्स व्हाट इज द बाइल जूस. दीज आर द डाइजेशन. जो बाइल जूस है इट इज दीज आर जूसेस विच आर secreted by the liver and the pancreas, which helps in digestion of the complex food particles like fats, right. So this is the, you can say, right, the what is the bile juice. So what would happen if the bile juice would not be there? So क्या होगा, जो bile juice अगर नहीं होगा तो there will be no conversion of the complex food items into the smaller food particles, right. So the digestion of the fats will not take place in the case of bile juice is missing from our body. Similarly, mucus अगर नहीं होगा तो there will be no protection against the acidic attack. Next is, why do some animals chew their cud and what are they known as? We know that some animals chew their cud because they cannot digest that food in one time, because there is a cellulose which is present, ऐसा कुछ present होता है that is not easily digested by their body. तो उसको रीस्वेलो करना पड़ता है and they have to chew their cud again by bringing it back into their mouth, and these animals are said to be ruminants. Next is, why is it essential to maintain oral health? oral health maintain करना क्यों ज़रूरी है हमारे लिए? why it is important? because it is, जो oral health means why we need to protect our teeth and gums. हमें हमारे माउथ का क्यों ख्याल रखना चाहिए? because if we will not keep a check over our oral health के ऊपर हम maintain नहीं करेंगे तो there will be lot of dental problems in our mouth and it may lead to the cavities in the teeth, right. So we need to keep check over the oral health to keep our teeth and gums healthy. So next is, have you ever heard that tongue tied? आपने कभी सुना है tongue tie हो जाना, right? So have you ever heard this? So what important function of tongue is expressing it? Refer to this. This means when the tongue gets tied, it means speechless, means the person is having no word to speak upon this and cannot say what he wants. जो वो कहना चाह रहा है तो वो बिल्कुल बोल नहीं सकता because उसकी जो टंग है वो टाई हो चुकी है, गांठ हो गई है उसको. तो this is the important function of tongue in this expression is talking. We know that अगर हम tongue हमारा क्या function होता है tongue का, that is to it helps in speaking. So what is the expression tongue tied का मतलब होता है to become speechless, which means, or we can say, the person cannot say something what he wants to say. Clear? That is unable to speak. So the important function which it tells us that the tongue है जो, if the tongue is not there or it is something stuck into something, that is it will not lead to speaking. If we want to talk, that is only because of the tongue. So these are the questions which are in your chapter number 2. So I hope these are clear. If you have any doubt, you can ask me anytime, or you can call me anytime for the doubts. So thank you for watching.